Rifle scopes have been around since the Civil War, from a simple brass tube with a crosshair installed in the end of it to more sophisticated tactical and sniper scopes that even feature laser range-finding applications today. But for the average hunter and sportsman, we'll deal with a more simple scope, the average 3 to 9, the fixed 4 to power, sometimes even a 6 power, and a fixed rifle scope. Before we take a hands-on of individual rifle scopes, I'd like to show you a cutaway, if you will, or a drawing of scope design. We'll look at where O-rings are placed. We'll talk about the objective bell, ocular lenses, erector tubes, and scope adjustments. If you do purchase a scope or a second-hand scope and it has a reticle that you do not like, in most cases the manufacturer will, for a modest fee, replace that reticle for you. I know that folks at Loophole do a wonderful job, and for $35, $40 you can have a reticle changed. Schmidt & Bender will make those changes, Burris will, and Night Force will. Illuminated reticles are also something to keep in mind. They work extremely well in poor light, and I see them as coming to the forefront in the future of rifle scopes. We've pretty well covered the basics, giving you information that should allow you to make an intelligent choice in a scope. Now, let's take a look at some actual models that are available to you. If you're worried about ring and base combinations, I highly recommend the Mark IV base and rings. They're a little bit heavy, they are expensive, but they'll never let you down at that critical moment. Butler Creek caps, we talked about those. Very handy and convenient. When you're buying expensive glass, you owe it to yourself to protect those lenses. It's what you paid the big money for. All of your tactical scopes are pretty much going to have the mill dot type reticle, and we'll show you a close-up of that. We talked about it earlier when we went over reticle designs. We'll give you a close-up and we'll explain those. Each mill dot that you see, or dot below the crosshair intersection, subtends 36 inches at 1,000 yards. We've taken the time to see that it is mounted correctly, and in doing so we need to care for the scope. We've got a couple of items here that we'll share with you. One is a product called Clear. It's for cleaning the scope. It's an anti-fog agent as well. If you're going to be hunting in wet weather or snowy country, this product works extremely well. You can get it at your local eye care center or write to the folks at Clear and they'll be glad to send you a bottle. Next, we have a product that's sold by the folks at Loophole. It's called a lens pen. This is really a neat little gadget. We've covered a lot of information today. Now let's take a few minutes and go over the things we've talked about. We've talked about scopes and their construction, O-ring sealings, lens coatings, parallax, variables, and fixed powers. I think that's probably the most important thing I can convey.